The Kingdom of the Hidden Lake. Far beyond rolling fields and mountains capped with snow lay the small village of Brindlewood. It was a quiet place, known for its apple orchards, stone bridges, and the sound of the river that wound like silver ribbon through its heart. Most people of Brindlewood were content with their lives, rising at dawn, working the fields, and gathering by the fire at night. But one boy was different. His name was Rowan, and he was 13 years old. He had hair as wild as the brambles and eyes that always seemed to search the horizon. While the other children played simple games, Rowan liked to climb trees, chase shadows in the forest, and imagine himself in faraway lands. His heart beat with a restlessness that no orchard, no river, no quiet night could satisfy. Often, Rowan's grandmother would tell him stories by the fire, stories of hidden kingdoms, enchanted beasts, and heroes who discovered places unseen. Rowan drank in every word, wishing he could step into those stories himself. One night, after hearing the tale of the hidden lake, he whispered to himself, "I will find it. I will see it with my own eyes." The hidden lake was not like any ordinary lake. According to the stories, it was a place where the waters mirrored not only the sky above, but also the truth within. Anyone who gazed into its depths would see not just their reflection, but the path their heart most longed to follow. It was said to lie deep in the whispering forest, a place where travelers often lost their way. Few dared enter, for voices were heard among the trees, voices that lured wanderers off the path. But Rowan was not afraid. If anything, the danger made the story burn brighter in his mind. The very next morning, before the sun had fully risen, he packed a satchel with bread, cheese, and a small wooden flute his grandmother had carved for him. Then, with a heart racing like the wings of a sparrow, he set out toward the forest. The Whispering Forest was unlike any place Rowan had ever seen. The trees were tall and old, their branches knitting together so tightly that little light reached the ground. Moss carpeted the roots, and mushrooms glowed faintly in the shadows. As he stepped deeper, he heard it, faint murmurs like voices carried on the wind. At first they were gentle, his name spoken softly, laughter like the children of Brindlewood. Then the whispers grew sharper. "Turn back, Rowan. You are too small. You will be lost forever." He clutched his flute, remembering his grandmother's words. "When the forest confuses you, play the music of your heart. Truth always finds its way through lies." So Rowan raised the flute and played. The melody was simple, clumsy even, but it was his. The notes wove through the trees, and as they did, the whispers faded. A faint path revealed itself, glowing with fallen leaves that shimmered like gold. Rowan followed. The path led him to a small stream that sparkled under the dim light. As he bent to drink, a figure rose from the water. It was a creature unlike any he had seen, a stag made of silver mist, its antlers branching like rivers in the sky. "You seek the hidden lake," the stag said, its voice deep and echoing. Rowan froze but nodded. "Yes, many have entered this forest, but few are true of heart. Why should you be allowed to pass?" Rowan thought for a moment. Then he said, "Because I want to know who I am. The lake shows truth, doesn't it? I don't want riches or power. I just want to understand." The stag studied him for a long while. Then it lowered its head and touched the stream with its antlers. A bridge of light appeared, crossing the water. "Then go, seeker. But remember, the truth is not always gentle." Rowan crossed, thanking the guardian as it faded back into mist. Beyond the stream lay a place where the forest grew darker. The air was heavy, and the trees leaned as if listening. Rowan felt the weight of shadows pressing around him. From those shadows stepped a figure, his own reflection. But unlike Rowan, this version's eyes were cruel, his smile sharp. "Why do you chase dreams?" the shadow asked. "Stay in Brindlewood, where life is safe. You are no hero. You are just a boy." Rowan's knees trembled. Part of him wanted to turn back, to run to the comfort of home. But he remembered the stag's warning. The truth is not always gentle. He raised his flute again, playing the melody of his heart. The shadow flinched, its edges trembling. Rowan stepped forward and said firmly, "Maybe I'm just a boy, but that doesn't mean I can't try." With that, the shadow shattered like glass, and the forest brightened once more. At last, Rowan stepped into a clearing where the trees gave way to open sky. And there it was, the hidden lake. Its waters were clear as crystal, reflecting the stars, though the sun still shone above. The surface shimmered like glass, and Rowan felt as if he stood between two worlds. He knelt and gazed into the water. At first, he saw only his reflection. Then the image shifted. He saw himself older, standing not in Brindlewood, but in faraway lands, sailing ships, exploring mountains, helping strangers in need. He saw struggles too, storms, battles, moments of doubt, but always he saw himself moving forward, never giving up, guided by something bright within. Tears filled Rowan's eyes. "So this is who I can become." The lake rippled, and a single droplet rose into the air, glowing like a star. It hovered before Rowan, then sank into his chest, filling him with warmth. The truth of his heart was now part of him. The journey back through the forest was easier. The whispers did not trouble him. The shadows did not return. The stag appeared once more at the stream and bowed its head. "You have seen," it said. "Guard this truth, for it will guide you all your life." When Rowan finally returned to Brindlewood, the sun was setting, painting the sky in gold and crimson. His grandmother waited at the edge of the village. She looked into his eyes and smiled knowingly. "You found it, didn't you?" Rowan nodded. "I did, and I found myself too." That night, as the villagers gathered by the fire, Rowan played his flute. The melody was stronger now, clearer, filled with hope. And though none of them knew what he had seen at the hidden lake, they felt it in the music, a promise of journeys yet to come. Years later, Rowan would indeed leave Brindlewood. He would sail seas, climb mountains, and write his name into stories of his own. But he never forgot the hidden lake, nor the truth it showed him, that the greatest adventure is not in lands unknown, but in the courage to seek, to grow, and to follow the path your heart reveals. And so, whenever children of Brindlewood asked him about his travels, he would smile and say, "There is a lake in the forest that shows you who you are. If you are brave enough to look, you'll find more than treasure. You'll find yourself. Sparkles the end sparkles."